Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back with another brand new video, and today's video mercifully is around already because we need to focus on something else. We need to let go, or try to let go of what happened midweek and look forward, people, because the game that's next up on the old calendar is just as important, especially now given what happened with that result midweek. So we're here to talk about Rangers versus Hearts. And you know what, just to keep our minds busy and everything like that, let's no faff around with today's video. Let's just dive right in to the old oppositional preview and have a look at the Hearts side, who are currently find themselves sitting in third place, 13 points behind Rangers in second, but 10 points clear of Motherwell, who are fourth. And you know, some we normally didn't mention point differentials and that in the preview videos for other teams beside Rangers and obviously Celtic, but I feel like for this game and for this team it is worth mentioning the points, because to me it summarises everything you need to know about this current Hearts side. Right, they're 13 points behind Rangers in second place, right, so they're nowhere near challenging for the title, whatever. Of course they never ever were going to be, but it's the other way when you look at the table and the battle for third space with all the teams that was picked before the season and during the season who was going to be amongst it. So far this season, Hearts have shown that they are a step above and a class above every other team in the league, as they sit with that 10-point gap with everyone else scrapping and fighting for that third spot. And you know, you have to give a lot of credit to the Hearts side. I certainly didn't see them coming in from the Championship and taking it in their stride in the way they did. I think they've done absolutely brilliant, and the players that they've brought in from the Championship, some duck to water in the top flight, and they've really brought in some smart and clever players in that as well. I thought they've recruited very, very underneath the radar, because there's a lot of teams that's getting, oh, this was a great signing, this is a great signing. If you look at Hearts, they're probably one of the most consistent in terms of what they've actually added to the squad. I thought Barry Mackay, and I'm not just saying that with the Rangers links, but I thought he's been brilliant so far for Hearts. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the you-know-what tomorrow. But you look around at this Hearts side, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, and I think I only can say this because I'm an outsider looking at it, but I think Robbie Nielsen's actually done a very good job with this current Hearts side. So that is a surprise, because again, I didn't expect to be saying that, but something that wasn't was their most recent game, which was actually a derby match as well. And again, the non-surprise was the fact that it finished 0-0 yet again, as that's now back-to-back Edinburgh derbies that's been on the telly, and back-to-back Edinburgh derbies that's dropped the double goose egg in a game of football that wasn't littered and filled with quality. It was almost like a throwback derby game, you know what I mean? Tackles getting stuck in, head to heads, very little football played, a lot of individual and personal battles out there, and it was one of those games, if you take the ball away, I don't think many people would have actually noticed, but from the entire match, I think Hearts would have felt a little bit disappointed that they didn't pick up more than the 1 point, because for me, they created the better opportunities, and for me, they were on the other end of some terrible refereeing decisions that could and probably should have went their way. But with that slight disappointment about not taking all 3 points to one side, it's got to be said that the Hearts side has bounced back tremendously since losing that game to us on the 12th of December after we went to their ground to bet them 2-0. There could have been a wee bit of a wobble or anything like that, but it's actually went the exact opposite. They've actually been brilliant since that loss to us, because since that loss they've went ahead and won 4 of the last 6 games. One of those 6 games, by the way, being the 0-0 draw we just broke down, and the other game there, the another anomaly that's in there, was that 2-1 loss to Celtic at Tynecastle, and a game of football that Hearts were a missed penalty away for taking points of them. So there's no point in me trying to sugarcoat it or trying to downplay it. This is a good footballing side who are settled with their manager's tactics, and the manager plays to their strength, and it's very similar to the way they go about their business than it was in the last preview video, for Celtic, where we talked about fast starts, getting in our faces and having shots and going forward. For whatever reason, we seemed shell-shocked that Celtic were going to approach the game that way and lost in the first 45 minutes. Well, I'm sure Hearts will be licking their lips hoping we start as badly as we did in the last game, in this game versus them, because that will play right into their hands as well. Because you look at this team in terms of an attacking perspective, yes, there's goals sprinkled everywhere, but they are having shots like it's going out of business. I mean, 8 of the last 10 matches have all been in the double digits in terms of the shots. The only 2 games that haven't reached double digits is the both games versus Celtic, and you know why that is? Because Celtic didn't sit back, didn't take the foot off the gas, they kept going forward, and it put them off balance. That's what you've got today. If we sit and we repeat the same mistakes as what we did at Aberdeen, Ross County and at Celtic, again, believe it or not, we'll be playing right into the hands of Hearts. And before we actually go ahead and finish up the oppositional preview, I've seen a couple of little things going out there about John Souttar. Will he play? Should he play? Will he be able to play? And all that stuff. And for me, it's just silly because he's still a Hearts player until the end of his contract. We had the opportunity to bring him in January. We decided to go a different way and everything like that. So yeah, for me, he plays every day or every game for Hearts because he's still a Hearts player until June. So I am not really seeing the discussion of whether or not he should play. He's a Hearts player. He's their best player. So he's going to play. I mean, I wouldn't mind a cheeky own goal and giving us a couple of penalties, John Souttar, if you really want to start your career. Look what Jordan Jones did. Alright, he scored against us. Never really got a sniff in the first team. Think about it, John. We own goal, if you didn't mind. But aye, that's all I'm going to say about this Hearts side. It's a very similar threat than what we just faced. But what an opportunity that is for the Rangers players to put the discussion that they can't handle people getting in their face to bed very quickly. And to right the wrongs what happened midweek. And I think with that very natural progression at the Rangers side of today's video, we'll move away from the oppositional preview and get to the Rangers side, because there is a lot of discussion, as you can imagine, and rightly so, about this Rangers team. Is this Rangers team on a steady decline since returning for the winter break, or are they going through one of those stages that happens in football when you can't do right for wrong and you're just playing poorly in a spell? Well, hopefully it's the latter, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to continue to play like this. I'm hoping that's the end of it now, and it might be. Again, I might be just being overly positive and all that stuff, or trying to look to more positive things, I should say. But this, to me, and what happened in midweek feels very, very different than some of the times we've responded and rebounded in the past. Even going back to last season when we lost those cup games when we shouldn't have lost, and we probably should have won a treble last year if we were able to play to our standard. There was still that we were focused on the league. That was the main priority. It was all about 55. And then coming into this season, even with the disappointments that we've had, for their instance, the semi-final loss versus Hibs, there was still that excuse that Gerrard took the coaching staff and everything away. It was a messy situation. So these players were affronted another safety blanket. And to be fair to them, they were able to respond and go on another win. But all these excuses about the league's the priority, we're still top of the league, we're still this much points clears, everybody calm down. All those excuses and safety blankets has been chewed right down to the bone, people. Now it's time for these players to actually face it and really, really stand up and be counted, because there is no tomorrow now, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen where we've dropped in. Again, the league's no over and any of that malarkey, but again, all the excuses and all the comforts are gone. And you never know, people, maybe that's exactly what was needed for this Rangers side, because again, we've had wee knocks throughout the season and we've never seen us get back to the highest level we can. Well, now we've hit pretty much our rock bottom, if you want. All the points are gone and everything like that. Maybe now when we're doing here, that'll really give us the shake up, because I'm not going to say it's a wake up call. That wake up call is long and gone. We got kicked in the arse on Wednesday night. Now it's time for the players to show they actually care. Because let's just be honest, between me and if Wednesday night's embarrassment isn't enough to get these players back to that level, with not only the embarrassment they must have felt on the actual part, but the feeling and the embarrassment they gave to us as fans, then nothing will ever get this team out of the spell that they're actually in. But again, I'm going to believe and I'm going to back, and you can call me a positivity cheerleader or anything like you want, but I just feel like this is the real first time these players have had their backs to the wall in a long time. I'm going to back them and believe that they'll fight their way out and respond with a massive win. And again, I know I've already touched on it, but the league's not over or anything like that. I grew up with very good Rangers teams and very good Celtic teams trading wins all season long. It's about how you respond when you did lose and everything like that. So we have a big, big test on Sunday, but it's a test we are more than capable of if we turn up. And that's all I really wanted to say. I felt like there was a wee bit of wait since Wednesday night, but I wanted to take a day, I wanted to let it settle, and I just wanted to unleash. So that is how I'm feeling about the Rangers team, and that is what I'm expecting to see tomorrow. But speaking of the press conference, we've got some news about the actual team in terms of individuals and everything like that. Again, Hollander remains on the road, he's still working, but it might be too soon. But someone who is available and should be starting is big Leon Balogun. And I sat here and said that in the preview video before Celtic. You have to go with Balogun if you want to win things back in the air. I need a centre-back being able to win something on that left-hand side because Barisic and Bassey just aren't getting it done right now. So for me, Balogun has to go into the starting 11, and I wouldn't take Bassey out of it. I'd actually put Bassey at left-back and remove Barisic. And in terms of the old midfield, Ryan Jack has to start this game. Now, I know Giovanni's pretty much said he's only got 45 minutes in his leg right now as he recovers and builds himself back up for the injury. But you know, son, I'd rather keep the 0 and protect the 0 when we aren't 3-0 goals down. So maybe start Jacko in, and if he plays the half-time and needs to come off, that is perfect. But for me, we need a battler. We need a bit of a guy that's nasty in the middle of the park because we're too pretty, we're too soft, we're too, oh, look, you can run by me and everything. No, Jacko for me has to start whether he'll last 45 minutes or no. Start him, take him off at half time and go on for there. And the other one in terms of the midfield, which I think will get a lot of people excited, will be Aaron Ramsey as he's in the squad for Sunday. Now again, he's going to be assessed ahead of the game, but we all know that's just code because you're not just going to come out and say you want the other manager to be kind of guessing if he's playing and game planning. It's a little bit of mind games there. I think we all know Aaron Ramsey should and probably will be in the old 18 tomorrow. Now whether he starts, that'll be a different conversation, and I'll be honest, even I'm torn with that because naturally I want him to start because fantastic player, and I think if you're good enough you can go in there and you can make a difference. It doesn't matter how long your legs last. If you're able to add something and get us in the lead of the game, maybe you could provide a spark to open a goal out. But also I kind of want to see him subbed on just to see the electricity and feel the electricity for the crowd, because that buzz might be one of those factors. Because we talk about a tackle getting the crowd up and that geeing the players up. Can you imagine what the response will be when Aaron Ramsey jogs on that park for the first time at a full Ibrox? That could be glorious. So in a perfect world, we'll sub him on 1 minute into the game. But aye, that's the Aaron Ramsey news. If we need him, he's there. And for me, we need him. And to finish up the old Rangers team news, we have the fantastic news that Alfredo Morelos is not only back in the building today, but he is available for tomorrow. He should be available. He's had a 2-week holiday because he sat in the stands for Colombians. They've not even used him a part of the bench setup. That's right. They flew him halfway across the world to sit in the stands and watch. Why? I don't know. Do I like it? Absolutely not. I'd be blocking their number, never letting them phone for Alfredo Morelos again. But again, Rangers and everything like that have nothing to do with that. So the Colombians coaching that was their decision. But the good news is Alfredo Morelos is back, so that will actually give us somebody to play off up top, and hopefully that can provide a wee boost in that as well. Just his presence on the park, his presence up front might be the difference in this game. And aye, with that being said, that is it for the Rangers conversation, the Rangers latest team news, and of course the oppositional preview. Now all that's left for me and thee today is to dive into the comments section below, because I want to know how you're feeling, what you want to see, who you want to see starting in there. Again, I've let you know where I'd move some of the team, but it's never about me, this channel. I want to know about you. What's the changes that needs to be made ahead of this game, and how do you see it going? In terms of scorelines, I'm going to keep those one very short and very simple. I do think it's going to be a hard game. Everything screams out that Hearts are going to score because they pretty much score every single game besides against Hibs these days. But I think we might probably keep a clean sheet. I'm just going to go for it anyway. Rangers 2, Hearts 0. I'm going to go for a repeat with the Tynecastle one, even though obviously they got a draw at Ibrox the last time. But I just think we'll see something. Maybe it's me being daft, maybe it's me believing too much, but I need to see something new, that all the excuses and safety blankets are gone. These Rangers players are out there now with the spotlight shining brighter than it's been in a while. It's time for them to answer it and give the fans what we need, and that's the 3 points. And with that being said, that's us reached the end of today's video. As always, I've been Siege992. That has been a sleepy Rocky Boy Johnson, and until next time, take care of yourselves everyone. I'll see you Sunday night. All the best, and bye bye.